all comes down to this. We're going to bind Sentinels, TSM, Grand Finals, $25,000 on the line, $50,000 prize pool. It's pistol round time. Golden Boy Gaskin, take it away.
Oh, what a time for us to actually start this one off, as Sinatra actually found Sabrosa, but just out of the gate, the trade was there. FaZe and Drone, they got aggressive on this defensive pistol. I love it.
Oh boy, I mean, if this is anything to go by, just straight
punch
away,
him in the face.
Getting in the face and saying we are not even going to allow you to strategize whatsoever. We are going to take any of that information, any of that slow play away from you and deny it instantly.
Mike's not quite at the site yet, though. Dapper with that kill. Should actually give the prompt here for them to actually bring the spike in. Now, Haze of the Showers could be a problem for them, and it is going to come to fruition there. Kill blocked off. They blocked lamps, but those players actually held back in defender side. I love that because they assumed that there were going to be lamps, but they weren't. They actually went back to defender and then came back in.
I mean, Moses asked us about confidence, about momentum. Well, that's one way to steer it in your favor, is just to flash out mid and just take any sort of pressure off of yourselves by winning those early engagements, getting yourself that first pistol round, and should guarantee yourself now a round following. And this is, well, if there's anything to go by, that's one thing that TSM did very well yesterday, right, is they were very aggressive and they kind of took the game to Sentinels. They didn't allow Sentinels to maybe kind of think and craft their strategy as much as they're used to. And now Sentinels are going to be using the drone to push through middle, but Wardell already there on top of truck, just being such a nuisance.
Yeah, he got loads of value there. And an aggro push towards Showers, too, and the triple smoke is going to come down. But Haze emerges from that shower, and now that means that they really do not have any kind of chance here. And all the players from Sentinels just get obliterated, leaving Dapper alone to look at his camera. I'm glad you have a great rotational mechanisms inside of there, man. It's awesome.
Just make sure it's nice and lubricated so you can look in every single angle, as there is going to be the last player spot. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, just all the cogs inside. Make sure those wheels are returning. GB, of course, as Dapper will manage to get one and drops a teabag. Okay, yeah, I'm already in love with this series. I'm already in love with these two teams. This is going to be great.
I'm glad that it took that particular teabag to make you fall in love with this series, because this has been incredible. Now, out of the gate, bear in mind that because they lost that pistol round at the beginning, it was going to be challenging for Sentinels to try and make a play happen. But this actually starts when they go over to Showers. So they send two into Showers. I believe it was Drone and Haze go that way. And then they will be able to emerge back in and re-engage in the fight. So I think that there was just a brilliant read there. And even smarter is how Sinatra anticipated that Wardell might push this and then played around that slow orb.
Yeah, I think we saw how confident Wardell was in previous maps, not just today, but yesterday as well. And I think Sentinels will do very well to deny that. And now the rest of TSM, well, their weaponry isn't too great. Just 3 SMGs and a Bulldog, and Sentinels need to take advantage of this. And if they can have a flawless round, then that will be a great way to get back into this one. TSM should still have a decent amount of money. It was, of course, just the op that was purchased, and really chipping away at the total for Wardell.
They don't commit. Not yet, at least. They're waiting. It's giving them an opportunity to push and rotate around. But I think that maybe this is exactly what they wanted. It plays right into their hand, because they'll bring this one wrapped around over toward long. Sinatra made a mess of noise inside of Hookah, but Haze is waiting for this one here. They got a lot of time to rotate around, but Shazam still manages to get the kill, even though Haze was looking right down his sights there. Now these two players are going to be inside of the site, but Cutler, brilliantly done, as he was the one player that needed to just try and slow this thing off. But the time is ticking. It ain't going to be much of a problem, though. Shock Dart doesn't connect. Drone looking to make this one into a play, but Shazam cleans him up. And that will be Sentinels managing to pick up their first in that third round, that awkward third round.
Yeah, it means that Sentinels did had quite a lot of damage done to their economy. TSM doing well to take guns off them. So we can see a Bulldog there, half armor and a Phantom, another half armor and a Phantom. Whereas for TSM, they're going to be a little bit more healthy. Of course, Wardell was the only one who bought up and he got that op. So they're still going to have 4 rifles. So I guess we've got the 4 rifles plus a Bulldog, plus the 4 rifles plus a pistol. But if Wardell's able to pick up a kill, maybe he'll get closer towards that ultimate.
Get out of my way!
Yeah, and he got it.
There we go. Just needed the orb.
He picked that up instantly. He ran right for that, and no one was actually there to stop him. Goes to show how important it is to play for those orbs, because he can actually save some money and then obtain the ultimate. Zoms was called out behind the box. I think that drone may have peeked over. And with that orb picked up, FaZe will now get orbital strike. So job well done for them as well on Shower. So everyone got what they wanted. They're going to be prepared for this one.
If TSM have done their homework, they'll know that just keeping Showers away from Sentinels is a good thing. I mean, like, in general, keeping Showers away from a Brimstone is always going to be the best idea, because you need to get into Showers with Brim if you're going to be able to split up that site with the smokes effectively. Smoke off Heaven, for example. You can't smoke it off as effectively if you're trying to push through short. So that's why we're seeing this kind of back and forth in Showers.
Okay, well, now Orbital Strike is going to be used, and that's going to break up some of these players. Now, FaZe, as he bursts out, gets a kill, and they didn't check the corner there. Drone gets 2.
I have this.
Just they at no point knew that he was there. They knew that the one player was going to be playing in Showers because that player destroyed Shazam tag. But they knew that player destroyed the camera, so they got that intel. But the fact that they had the wherewithal to do that, and now they also will get this plant off in the nick of time. We're going to know exactly where he is. So many annoying little places for those trap wires to be. Shazam had just no chance there. They bursted through, and they're going to let him know who's boss. But that was just a Cutler lurking was awesome.
And that's what you'd expect from your Cypher. I mean, Cutler was weak there, so in that final battle as well. I think
True, yeah.
Shazam had actually a chance, if I'm completely honest, but just went for the early peak. But Drone just doing huge things here in Bathroom. And if TSM can lock Sentinels away from Bathrooms, then that would be huge.
Yeah, no, it was Drone that made that Herculean play. But even then, I mean, it's still amazing. Also, Cutler's camera placement and trap wire placement has also just been a nuisance for them to deal with. So they get the orbs that they want.
This goes here.
They managed to accomplish those mini tasks that they set out. They're up by 2.
Might be an eco round, but lots of ultimates available for Sentinels. If they can get the spike down, then you've got that possibility of Orbital Strike plus Molotov to try and stall out a round.
True.
They've gone for early presence in Showers as well, maybe to try and use this utility to their best ability and get those smokes onto site. Something they weren't able to do too successfully last round because of Drone and the positioning he had.
Well, Drone's positioning here can also be a problem. 2 players inside of that shower area. They have not gone in for it. Dueling drones as well, as you see on the mini-map. But Drone is still going to be waiting this one out. He has that Hunter's Fury waiting in the wings in case they look to get onto that A site. Some slight rotations are actually starting to come through. Camera was destroyed too, blocking any vision.
He's got shock darts waiting as well, just in case there is going to be that Bathrooms push.
Nowhere to run.
They see them. All right, well, Drone waited. Now Shazam, Hunter's Fury, does manage to pick up the kill there, but his teammates actually die, and then he waits for the opportune moment for it, forces him back. He's actually doing the process of elimination here. He tagged over in front of the U-Haul and then went a little further to that cubby. The Wardell kill there is basically just going to lock this round up. 20 seconds remaining. They're stuck on the bench with frenzies. There was some investment in this round, but just no time for them to be able to make anything happen here. They know exactly where Zoms is, and Stick is basically not going to be long for this world at 1 HP. And the TSM waited for that moment for the Hunter's Fury, because he knew that they were just going to go for the smokes, and he It was just it was a great read from Drone, who's been having a good start to this game, Gaskin.
It was a shame, really, for Sentinels as well, because I feel like if they were able to get that spike down and if the Brimstone was able to get off the site, if Zoms was able to get off, then he would have been able to have that orbital strike, have the molly, and maybe they would have been able to make something of that eco round with the amount of utility they had to offer. But it's back to a buy round again, and it's going to be a big B push in hookah here from TSM. And we're going to get the push through the teleport.
Oh!
It's gonna be huge.
I did not expect that at all, and Sinatra certainly did it either. He had no time to be able to get out of that hot hand. Sick, though, trying to get the crosses, managed to pick up a kill. Dapper also is going to be there, good for one. Now it's just going to leave Cutler inside, having to deal with 3 members, but Shazam's going to make quick work of him. Only player left alive will be the Brimstone for TSM.
What just happened?
Yeah, like, because both players, or both teams, have the same exact idea. Send it over to short. That was it. It was the same thing.
Insane push from TSM. Like 4 people down. And actually, Sentinels did very well to respond to it. Constantly pushing in for the trade. Both teams fearless. And it was trade after trade after trade. But in the end, Sentinels just had that one extra, which allowed them to get the round, really, because they were able to get the player advantage in the end. I mean, if that showstopper had gone off, like, that could have been 3, maybe even 4 kills. Pre-patch, definitely, but post-patch, well...
Well, the neural theft, too, if you see right there, once that neural theft went up and they were exposed, they actually had to, like, go back because they knew that they could have actually been seen and sprayed through all the smoke that was actually a play.
I love this from TSM, just, like, trying to play against the norm, trying to surprise Sentinels, not allowing Sentinels to get into any sort of comfort zone, and they'll be a little bit annoyed and probably kicking themselves that they gave that round away in such a fashion, but so much respect for actually going for it, as the orbital strike will be fired and allow presence now up B long for Sentinels.
That shock dart was wild, and this play from Sabros is even more insane. 2 more kills as well for Wardell and Cutler. It's just going to be Zoms. But even though Zoms is alive, I mean, this man managed to pull off a near miracle with barely any health on split earlier on. Knows where one is. If he can get this kill, but he's not quite sure where that other player was going to be hanging out, and that was the mid. So once it threw him off, Hayes swung for it. That shock dart, I thought that shock dart would have been like just the end of that round, or maybe just been enough of a problem for TSM to have to deal with. It landed perfectly where Wardell was bailing.
It's the speed of these rounds as well, Alex. I mean, TSM are just saying to Sentinels, look, if you don't push somewhere fast, we're going to push you. And if we catch one of you off guard, then suddenly we take that. We can go back on ourselves, and we've got that advantage. It's going to be another kind of B split push at the moment, just with the lurk over towards A. And it's going to be aggression from TSM, but this time, Sentinels wise to it.
Cutler managed to get that one shot there onto Sinatra, who was flying high in the sky. While that was going on, Wardell was there to have his teammates back too. Kill goes online for him. They will utilize this res because they got on the side, so you might as well just make the play happen and pull up this win. TSM now with a Brimstone ult that they can actually work around with in case they want to try and force them off. Some smokes are actually going to be coming in the favor of TSM. I think no, he's actually going to go for the orbital strike instead. He's determining where this is going to go, and he's waiting for that. Oh man, that was a good one. It's going to be on elbow, forcing them further inside of the defensive side there, but they were just a little too crafty, and that's going to give Sentinels there the win.
Sentinels with the thrifty. I mean, just being able to burst onto that site, getting those 2 kills, blocking off the vision with the smokes at the same time. And then the post-plant positions, I mean, they were a little bit funky, but they made them work because they faced together at the right times. The orbital strike, in the end, probably not in a desirable position. If they had waited a second and maybe got that information from the Sova dart, might have been able to pick up a kill or 2, but props to Sentinels for making that work.
And I understand why they did the orbital strike at elbow.
Oh, of course.
But in the pistol, the fact that 2 players were like holding hands at that wall is so good. Now, though, as this round continues on, Wardell does manage to open things up with a shot, but will be blown up there by Sinatra. A few satchels as well as the shot with the Phantom. Sabrosa now waiting for these players. They push forward here. A clean shot, one tap, one dig, looking for another, but it ain't gonna come here. A quick round, a quick round.
I mean, the quickest 9 rounds I think I've ever seen on Bind. Like, both of these teams, I don't know if it's just a case they want to get this game over and done with, or they just don't want to allow the other team to have any sort of room to breathe, but they are right down each other's throats at the moment.
And it's all it be. It's all it be. They're going right for it every single time. They bully whoever's going to be watching the hookah doorway, force them back over inside of the site, and they keep on doing it. And they go at it with a tenacity and speed that it's very clear TSM were just not quite prepared for it.
TSM are doing exactly the same thing on the other side, and there's a showstopper that's available for Sinatra now, so I imagine it's going to be similar pace, but Sabrosa using an ult of his own with the run it back. Sinatra will get spotted out. Can't connect to the showstopper, but he is on the site here.
Found you. Put down.
Oh, Cutler, what a sneaky guy. I mean, like, he was waiting for that one. And the trap wire placement, brilliant. No one was wiser to it. Sabrosa is going to be inside of this TP room, though, which is pulling this attention away from Shazam, keeping him focused on that room. It's like the fear of God. He knows that there's just no comfort for him, because once those doors open, he has to worry about it. And that is exactly what TSM are just going to be banking on.
They've surrounded Sentinels here, though. This is going to be very difficult for them to do anything in a 2 versus 5.
And actually bait the door open, too.
Just want to try and do a little bit of damage here to the economy if they can. And I mean, Sinatra is the kind of player who can do so, but doesn't get the spray down. Shazam knows someone's in that teleport as well, so he's terrified.
He actually did it. He did exactly as I said. He baited the door and made Shazam actually pay attention to him, though. Despite that, even Shazam getting 2 is nice for him. It's going to add a little bit more toward his ult, which is ready now. But that is going to be just a good pincer for TSM. Putting some fear into Sentinels and not giving them the comfort that no one was going to be pushing him from behind there.
And I wonder if it's going to be kind of the boy who cried wolf situation now, because it's been a consistent BBBBB. Are TSM now going to hedge their bets and stack towards A? I mean, yes, they are. That is going to be 4 players heavily towards A, but Sentinels look like they're going to say, well, you know what? We're just going to keep going B. We found a little bit of success here. We found momentum is working when we're able to get that early pick, so we're going to continue trying to do so.
So once again, over toward B. Orbital strike on standby. Cutler staying in that camera. He's not going to leave elbow. He's just waiting for it.
My wire.
I think he might have another one of those trap wires there too. The wall actually does block him off, so he can't do anything in case the players did get hit by the trap wire. Now, Hunter's Fury from behind the site there. Drone tags 1, gets the kill on Dapper. We'll get spiked down. And Sabrosa's there again. He's doing it again. He's still inside of the TP room, which puts fear inside of the player that has to patrol inside of Hookah.
Sentinels do have orbital strike, though. If Soms can get off of sight, which he has done so, this is still a winnable round.
Oh, he pushed him. Yeah, Cutler actually came through the elbow, and then he burned the orbital strike too. There's just enough time. There's plenty of time for them to do this, because they defuse halfway. Oh my goodness, and they get 2 ultimates out of them.
So can we talk about the stall tactic from TSM and like how well they're using Hunter's Fury at the moment? Like, they sent 4 towards A, so there's only 1 single player holding B site. Cutler's done pretty well to stay alive and just delay enough, but then the Hunter's Fury coming across and just denying that plant just gave them enough time to surround B site. And Sentinels have been phenomenal with their retakes on B site, so they know how successful you can be as long as you play it right, and TSM have done it just that, giving them a taste of their own medicine. And now it's the final round of this first half, and Sentinels' money is a little bit skew with. They're going to be defaulting towards B yet again, and the same Cypher trips just being put towards A to stop any sort of push out of showers and making sure that the rotations behind aren't going to be comfortable.
does manage to get out of dodge from Hookah. But I think that it was a mission accomplished there for the Cypher to just, like, I think Cutler's happy with that, right? He's like, okay, cool. You know, I know that they're just going to be looking to put focus and force on this area again. And he doesn't die in that exchange. They still haven't struck yet, as they will be rejoined. I think Dapper and Sinatra were actually going to be together. Cutler does manage to avoid that. We'll get tagged a little bit from the shock dart, but it's not enough to actually do some damage, as well as that molly. Good placement there too, though, forcing him actually to play a little further back against that wall and expose himself. So Shazam's going to be able to benefit from that one greatly. Shazam with 2 as well. Spike is going to go down here. Drone was going to be a problem, but is handled instantly there by Dapper. Now as Wardell creeps around the corner, no shot for him. A tailwind is going to drift him right back outside. This is looking good here for Sentinels. They have so many players left alive. And Sinatra, they just went right for it. Even though Hayes is going to be causing some problems here, they knew where he was. They had him dead to rights, and they managed to get it into a 7-5 score line in the half.
So every match in this grand final, whoever is defended first has gone on to win. Is 7 rounds enough for TSM? Is going to be my question to you, Alex, because I'd say 5 isn't too bad when you're attacking. Sentinels will be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, they're super happy, because now if they manage to pick up Pistol, then they'll get another round, right? Not guaranteed, but it's a high probability that they'll be able to secure another round. You're tied game, you're back in the race, baby. That's it.
And I wonder whether Sentinels will try and go for something similar as TSM offered, where it's just sheer aggression down mid. It doesn't look like it is going to be so. Of course, Sentinels not having the same kind of flash ability. I mean, they literally have no flash ability in comparison to TSM, so they can't just flash their way down middle.
That's the reason why and this is also going to be that benefit of Jet, right? He uses that shorty, gets right in their face, and then is able to pick up at least 1 kill. So Rosa there to help out too. This is going to leave now Zams just with his head in a swivel. No real options for him. Sick. Alone. Pops up behind him. Oh man, he's waiting for it. He didn't see him. Oh my goodness. He gets the kill. He's going to be in this one. Oh goodness gracious. He's still dancing around. Oh my goodness. Oh, sick. Oh, sick. What a play.
Sick, you are a disgusting individual. The trigger discipline, phenomenal there. No right to win that round. And to be fair, I was a little bit scared when that player pushed out of lamps and he only had the classic, but of course, already pretty weak. Drone not able to do anything. And then just ring around the roses around L-Box. And, well, advantage Sentinels, you'd have to say, by picking up the pistol there.
Let's get set up.
I mean, in this final, technically, Sentinels are ahead because they've won 2, TSM only won 1, but they carried the map advantage, of course, from coming from the winners bracket. But TSM, definitely the stronger team from this tournament so far. That's why they came from the winners bracket finals, and the fact they were able to knock down Sentinels in such a crazy fashion too. I think they not only surprised Sentinels, but they surprised the world with how well they were able to answer all the questions Sentinels posed.
Oh man, and that push through the smoke was quite ambitious. Although they do manage to procure themselves 2 kills, Shazam still being alive with this Bulldog will be a problem that they can't quite handle. So that is going to send the Spike over toward B, get some extra cash. 1v3, 48 HP. You know you're going to be surrounded here. The wall's also going to be blocking you off, though, but perhaps can actually make this one into something. But just as I say that, it's Sick yet again with the final kill in this half.
Sick didn't invest there as well. I mean, look, just had the Ghost. He's got quite a big bank balance. The rest of the team, though, they did lose quite a lot. So, for Sentinels, look at this. It's going to be Bulldog, SMG, but it's going to be a full buy on the side of TSM. So TSM definitely did that job in that second round to really damage the economy. And now we're all tied up at 7-7, and I mean, this just gets better and better. We got the default of 2 players over towards Showers. Again, Showers control is going to be important with any Brimstone on the map.
Smoke's down.
But Zoms, I think, is going to try and take control of this orb consistently. Make it very difficult for any easy ultimate points.
First pick for Sick. That was a long play there that I'm almost certain Rosa was not expecting at all. And it was going to be just an op from Sick. It goes to show how much this man contributes to this team. Count your lucky stars. You didn't get picked on that one, but it'll be okay. Zom's playing the corner aggressively here. A full stack here on short. Also one working their way towards showers. There goes the smokes now, but the camera does pop this out, and it's going to slow this push a bit. And it's because of that reason that Zom's, that hesitation, gets the kill.
Zom's got the kill, Sick got the pick with his op as well. The two players who had the big guns have done their job. TSM down to just 3. And I wonder whether we'll see them just back off now, cut their losses, take the ultimate orb, and accept that this is not going to be around for them, which is very good news for Sentinels, considering they did have some SMGs to work with. I mean, that's the advantage of Sick just going for that ghost in round 2, is that he does have the possibility of buying up that op in round 3. And it's something we see consistent oppers do, right? But Sick isn't necessarily that consistent opper for Sentinels, but the fact he has that in his arsenal and has the capability to do so is terrifying. It's not just scary, terrifying.
Oh boy, well this round is going to go to Sentinels. The early picks really set the tone for that map, or for that round rather. And it's actually just setting the tone for this map in general. 3 rounds in a row now that Sentinels have laced together here to create themselves a lead that they have managed to benefit from. We literally said this before the half started. Get the pistol, not a foregone conclusion on the second, and you're back in this game. And that's it's like I'm a wizard.
Look how selfless Sick is as well, just giving up the op to Shazam and taking a bulldog. Like this, he's just a team player, and I think that's what you need, that kind of person on your team, right? Who is more than happy to play with the op when the time is right, but also give it up when you know that you have other players on the team who can also benefit from it. And it also means that TSM have to be on their toes. At the moment, they might be thinking, well, if we see a Sage, that might be the op, but instead, they're going to be surprised when, yet again, it's going to be Shazam appearing on the kill feed.
The drone clears out shower for the time being. So early on, they know no one's really going to be paying attention to this area. At least Zoms, though, and he sent some warning shots through, so we'll get a response back from Wardell. Be careful, though, because with that orbital strike, it can actually cause a big problem for them here. The orbital strike is going to force the player out to the side, and Hayes has no other choice but to run into the loving arms there of Zoms. While that was going on, though, Drone managed to get that kill against Zoms. He was a little far out to the left. And now this spike is going to be going down. Wardell's playing the angle on top of this box. He does not want to leave this. He's watching. He sees him, but misses the shot in a rare occurrence here, caught live on Twitch. But stranger things have happened. But what is not strange is how TSM have managed to just force their way bluntly onto this site now. As Dom lurks about, though. Wardell bails out of this one, goes low, and that's 4 kills for Drone, tying this game right back up. If you thought TSM were going to be out of it, joke's on you. They're right back in it. We're all tied up 8-8.
Yeah, just when Sentinels are probably thinking, okay, yeah, our economy's looking pretty good. We have the chance to constantly now penetrate TSM's economy. Nah, TSM, they're back in this. They're not going to roll over and show their bellies. This is a TSM who want this. They have the desire. They don't want to be considered the number 2 team anymore. They know that they have the potential to be kings of the mountain. And the way they were able to get on the site like that, I mean, smokes from Brimstone, of course, just so successful. And it was the post-plant positioning from Wardell on top of that box made it so difficult.
They always had him up there.
So
always
difficult.
had him up there.
Like, Sentinels weren't able to push out of heaven because of it. And even when they did push out of heaven, they were just dropping into rifles.
So now going to be another set here for B. Got some intel that Sinatra's there. Here comes the Hunter's Fury now. And Drone just lining this up. Actually going to do some damage there to Sinatra. And that, we'll get the kill there, but it actually doesn't really help the fact that they ended up losing 2 players now, putting them in a 2v4.
I have the spike.
The trouble is with a lot of these kind of Hunter's Fury clears now, what they're seeing in previous maps that the paranoia clears. They're becoming a little bit predictable because these teams have played each other so much and they've watched each other's footage so much that as soon as that Hunter's Fury came out, they knew there was going to be a push through Hookah at the same time. Sentinels were just in the right place to ensure that there wasn't going to be a comfortable push for TSM. Now it's a 2 versus 4, and they find themselves having to push out of Hookah, which is never, ever a fun situation.
But they know that 2 players are inside of metal because the shock darts were coming out, and then the scan came in from the recon dart, and it tagged Brimstone. So they now know that there is going to be a Brim and a Sova there. The Sage is a question mark, and they're really, I think that because of that, it's like there's no real opening for them. Just get the op and save this round up, you know, because you have no real place to go. You have no, if you fly out of Hookah, you're just gonna get shot up. So what's the real advantage of wasting that? Might as well save those weapons.
TSM invested ultimate into that round, invested the Hunter's Fury in. No ultimates available now going into this round, and that means we're going to see a little bit of control of orbs. Sinatra very close to picking up his showstopper, and this was the Hunter's Fury just to clear Hookah. And even though Drone was able to get one, it was the grenade, the counter grenade from Sinatra, which was just so successful. And Sinatra and Hazed are the 2 players closest to their ults. I expect to see them try and get closer to these ultimate orbs.
We're going to get a little spread out default here for TSM. They'll group up back together here, and then no one has actually exposed themselves yet. I like the way that Sentinels have been playing Shower, because in the last round, they actually didn't send anything over there, right? Yeah. But it left Cutler, I believe. It left Cutler like waiting around. And then by the time he actually got back to the team, because all of that had actually fallen apart, there really wasn't much there. So he didn't give him any new knowledge to pull away from that.
Still no ultimates available, but smokes will come out, but also counter smokes available at the same time. And look at this camera, and he gets the tag as well.
There they are.
This is a huge tag with the camera. No. Oh, man. I was so worried that he was actually going to hit that shot. He disappeared right at the nick of time because that could have been really, really bad. That said, though, now Sinatra just transfer this over. Thankfully, Shazam's there to help him out. And just like that, they pushed on through short, but then they're just going to get met. And the camera was the difference maker there. That high placement prepared them for that push.
I wonder whether we're starting to see the real difference now between a lack of Sage on a defensive half for TSM. Sentinels, when they're defending now, they've got the Sage, and Hookah is just being able to be blocked off. We're not seeing these fast pushes through B that we saw consistently from Sentinels because TSM aren't able to do so. There's the wall, and then there's the constant slows, and even with the Hunter's Fury to try and break through Hookah, there was still too much utility there to stop them from pushing. So It means that TSM are kind of struggling to push towards B. So they're trying to refocus towards A, but just look at how many players are at A, how much utility is at A, the traps, the cameras. You've got everything you would need. You've got smokes to block off site at the same time. Sentinels are in a good spot. It's starting to look a little bit worrying for TSM. I feel like they need this round, but they walk straight into the op of Shazam.
That's going to create some reaction there. A Blaze Wall out. Does tag one. We'll actually send him backwards now. They're going to be going over toward Link now. And I think that this has just become a very difficult task for them to accomplish. That first pick, it hurts. They don't have Brimstone now. They don't have Orbital Strike to get themselves back into this game. They don't have smokes. So they're going to have to play this one out. They have one curveball. And perhaps the recon might shift some players aside, but it's not something that I would necessarily bank on. That's why they're going at this the way that they are. And as Shazam waits this one out, the curveball is going to be played out right now, and he could just play this angle, but he peeked at that moment, and then he's going to get flashed. Even then, though, Sub Rosa is picked, and the Hunter's Fury pointed right at the direction of Hookah does not allow them any kind of leverage to get on site. Time is going to be ticking here. Wardell knows that he's right there. He just cannot give up this op. They have to hold it, but they do not. And now we're getting close here. Dangerous territory for TSM. That first pick in that round, Gaskin, that was massive.
I mean, just this pistol round from Sick was everything right now. It's just given them the momentum in this second half to have a consistent economy and to keep on top of TSM. And now TSM have to make a decision here. Do they force up or do they allow this to go to potentially 12 for Sentinels and then try and claw their way back? Their B hits have not been successful right now. Sentinels have had an answer every time, and it looks like it is going to be an eco round for TSM. So Sentinels should be picking up a 12, but we do see the blades are going to be available, and we know what Jet can do.
He knows exactly where Wardell's going to be, but he's not going to be too focused on him until he needs to be. But he actually should have been paying attention to him a lot sooner. And that is why these ultimates are so important, because now they manage to get the A site. TSM right back in this one.
Wardell is disgusting, and that is why it's so important to save those ultimates for the right time. Even with an eco round, they're still doing a job here. Retake's still available, though, and Showstopper is available for Sinatra, too.
Oh, that's a big kill. That's a big kill. And this nade's actually going to be big, too, because it's going to apply some damage to Wardell. 85. Here comes the Showstopper, and it lands right on Wardell. This is now going to be a winnable opportunity here for Sentinels. They get the kill. This could be match point here. It's all going to come down to Cutler. Cutler with a Sheriff. Does he have what it takes? Surely he does. He knows where they're going to be. Taps one, goes in for the other one, but he's actually going to hold on to it, but he gets off of it, and Sick is the hero for this team. Does he get the defuse? Yes, he does, with .03 remaining. Sentinels are at match point. Tournament point.
I thought the 0.06 yesterday was nuts, but 0.03, Jesus Christ, that was close. And now Sentinels on match point. But TSM, I mean, they made a round of it. They made a round of it there, but it was all on this play from Sinatra. I mean, that was a freebie. The nade got the info, and then the Showstopper, of course. If Wardell had hit that shot, this could have been a completely different round, but just such fine margins between these two teams and the rounds that we're seeing being won.
He got up and challenged that. And with .03, I can't even. Match point now, tournament point for Sentinels. A few ultimates, though, are going to be available for TSM that they can utilize here. The run it back is going to be the first one to do so. A curveball inside of sight to try and create some clear. But look at where that op is actually going to be. Look out for Sick, because when they jump out, he will get a kill. I know that he's actually going to be focused toward this long, but if they commit to this, he can make the pick happen.
Oh, they don't
actually don't.
He has the res, so they need to probably commit to this, especially with that frag on the A site now.
Prepare for hellfire.
Pressure's on now. There they go. That's one for Sick. They know where he is. They worry about him. They have no choice to be concerned about him. But a great Blaze Wall is actually going to push Sick back. Now Subrosa's going to take some space inside of Garden. Two players located on the defender side, but watch out for Sick on the rotation. Hookah's empty. He can go in there and play spoiler to TSM's chances of staying in this.
Res is available, but he's not going to be able to get there to do anything about it, so they're going to have to just work with what they've got now. Two rifles and an op for this retake for Sentinels. They've been so good at retaking, but Wardell instantly denies the op possibilities.
Now that is going to be a winnable moment here for TSM, but they're not out of the fire quite yet. Here comes Hayes, though. A brilliant flank wrapped around. TSM still going to stay alive here, despite the best efforts of Sentinel Sick. That was just the angle he held. You don't normally expect that. So for him to be there and then slow them down, but even with that, it's Wardell who finds his mark against a rival opper.
Yeah, I mean, Wardell did so much there. He got the opening pick. He was able to follow up with Subrosa getting aggressive using run it back on B site. But, I mean, also want to focus on what Cutler was doing at A. All the meanwhile, while TSM were pushing towards B site, Cutler was still edging his way onto A just to show his presence, just to try and gain a little bit of information. And it was enough information for TSM to actually commit to that B site. They knew there was still at least one player there, so they knew they were going to have somewhat of an advantage over on B after their early pick. And now they go right back to the default, just spreading themselves out, trying to gain control of bathrooms and edging towards Hookah as well. But it's a little bit of a stack in Hookah. It is not going to be a nice situation if they do push themselves in here.
Sinatra, he's jumping up and down. He stays alive. 15 HP. He stays alive. and he's still gonna be there.
It was very almost
Oh.
a free kill. I mean, if that was Brimstone's Molotov, then you can count him out, right?
Oh, he's
He
burned
has to
alive,
push
yeah.
out.
He's toasted.
But the hot hand's just not as strong. Doesn't do as much damage.
And that boils down to this. These two have worked in tandem very well before. Flashes out. Sabrosa gets that pick. The entry on Zoms. Shazam inside. He has been miraculous this entire game. Is this going to be the moment where he actually manages to pull one off, though? But it's Sabrosa again. He has just been this thorn on the side that they just cannot seem to get rid of at all. They have to save. Look at their economy. They have to save. They have no choice but to hold on to these guns.
They're going to need to get the tweezers out soon and start pulling this Thorn out. Otherwise, that Thorn is going to get TSM closer and closer to potentially taking this to overtime, because they definitely have the potential to do so. You can see that the way they execute onto sites, they're very confident as soon as they are able to at least get that early frag. The only times they've struggled is when Sentinels have been able to pick them off, whether it be with an AWP or whether it just be with a rifle trade. If TSM can consistently find their ways and consistently get that opening frag, then they're in a fantastic spot to bring this to 12-12. And you're completely right. Money, not good for Sentinels. Sick trying to do his best to stay alive with the Stinger. And they just need to make sure now, Sentinels, that they have enough money for next round. They've got 2 rifles to work with here, the 1 Stinger, and the other boys might just have to work with potentially a shorty or a ghost.
Right now, advantage for TSM. You can see the loadouts there. They also will be 1 for drone to get his Hunter's Fury, which is a great clear ultimate that can guarantee them, maybe not guarantee, but can actually edge them closer to this win. And that's what they're playing for. They're going to be going for this because they have to get that orb for him.
They've baited the rotate from Sentinels as well. Just that 1 smoke sent out by TSM means that now we've got 4 over towards A from Sentinels,
Mission.
and it's going to be a site dominance for TSM if they push this one quickly.
Deploying drone.
Mission accomplished. They got the orb. Now, Dapper sees the drone coming in. He's playing that common position. They haven't really handled where that camera was going to be, but here comes the push. Now, at the elbow, they'll more than likely wall this off, but actually, Dapper's going to be watching up top, and a kill comes through. B-site's available. They're going to get in this. They're going to plant it, and they're right back in this game, and I don't even think they need to necessarily use Hunter's Fury if the moment doesn't call for it, but they are going to be pushing this one, and Cutler is waiting there. He's waiting there. Gets 2 kills. He was waiting for the transition through the TP. It paid off. He gets it. TSM now 1 step closer to getting in this game again and tying it up and taking it to OT. Oh my word.
Final stand for Sentinels. They've got the money to work with, and they should have the utility. They've got a res, they've got neural theft. On the other side, we've got Hunter's Fury, and we've seen what TSM try and utilize Hunter's Fury for, right? They try and push their way onto a site by blocking out different positions that people are used to defaulting to and where they're going to be standing and where they're going to be holding those angles. And maybe that can be enough to get them onto site. Or if we see TSM maybe get an early pick with this Hunter's Fury, getting a tag with a drone perhaps. Sabrosa getting aggressive now, and bathroom control, potentially everything here. This ultimate orb can really make the difference because it gives the ult to the Phoenix. Sabrosa is gonna have run it back available.
Tension at an all-time high here. Both of these teams have laid it all out on the line. It doesn't matter whether you're a TSM fan or a Sentinels fan. I think we can all agree that today, as we watch this game, we are simply just Valorant fans in awe of the skill that these 2 teams have provided us in this final, in both of their encounters throughout the FaZe Valorant Invitational.
So many fakes with noises and steps and just trying to do everything they can to dupe people out, but the rotation has already come out here from Sentinels.
Here we go. This is going to be for all marbles now, but the nade's actually going to force back some attention. Sabrosa waits this one out. He won't die because he will have that run it back, but Wardell is there and kills the first opper. Sabrosa again is the hero. This team gets slayed out in the outside. It's only going to be left up to the offer of Sentinels Shazam to try and pull something together. But ladies and gentlemen, in game 5, we're going to overtime.
Could we have hoped for anything else in a series that definitely deserved an OT? We've seen both teams win the opposition picks. We get to Bind, which realistically was just the last map that's left over, and we cannot separate them after 24 rounds of Valorant. An incredible push there from TSM. The fact they were able to get the run it back first, they knew they were going to have it available. They got aggressive towards bathrooms, which is a risk in itself, GB. Trying to take that bathroom control, which with how hotly contested it's been throughout this entire game, showed a lot of confidence from TSM. And then even though Sentinels had managed to stack that B site, it was the picks that Wardell was able to get alongside the entries from Sub Rosa. Everything was flawless about that from TSM. Overtime, baby. Let's go.
This is it. This is what we want. Nothing but right hooks, left hooks, jabs, haymakers. Hit them with everything you got. Win by 2. You walk away as the champion of the most competitive North American Valorant tournament to date. $50,000 prize pool. The respect and everything that comes with it. But right now, though, as Sentinels on the attack, we'll be focusing here on this B short. Wardell, oh boy, he was waiting for that. If in case it actually came through, you know he would have nailed that shot.
Revealing area.
They did see 3 towards B, though, with that camera. Cypher got so much information, and that's why they're heading towards A, and they've walled off Hookah.
He's inside. Oh no, okay, he drops back on the corner, that little angle there. But the recombo actually is gonna tag 3 people, and Hayes, he gets the kill on Zombs before he can place it, and then puts the Molotov right there, preventing him from being able to get that spike and plant it, but the spike transfer from Shazam. Oh my goodness, 2 HP, and definitely a dream. They'll get this spike back, but then coming out from the flank in Sub Rosa, as Dapper knows that this player's gonna be here, his options are gonna be severely limited. 1 in heaven, 1 located at short, and as he goes for the plant, Wardell can make this peek happen and get the kill, and he's gonna nail the shot. Actually, he tags him and does a substantial amount of damage, but he's still gonna be alive and very much in this fight. If Dapper's alive, it's gonna be a problem. Oh, there it is, Wardell. He just waited for it. He waited for the opportunity, but that dart, that recon bolt was the round.
I mean, everything's going to come down to, at this point, it's going to be clutch moments, all right? Who can handle the pressure the best? Who can hit their shots when they need to? And if Wardell is on fire with this op, then that is going to be bad news for Sentinels. Sentinels did really well to get onto site, of course, walling off lamps and just being able to try and get that plant, but the plant being denied by the flank. And Drone, I mean, just hitting shots through the smoke was everything. I thought maybe we're going to see the chance for Sentinels, but after Shazam doing that, but unfortunately didn't realize there was going to be the flank.
Yeah.
So advantage TSM. All they need to do is win this attacking round to win this tournament.
Sure, all they need to do.
Oh, yeah. I make it sound easy, but... They did go for a little bit of showers control early, just with Cypher to try and see if there's going to be any aggressive push, but you're going to need a lot of confidence and a lot of bravery to make any sort of aggro push down either showers or be long when you're in overtime. You've got Cypher trips everywhere right now just to try and deny any sort of flanks. But it's definitely going to be an A hit here.
And Dapper has that camera again. They really have not had an answer to dealing with this camera. And here comes the push. And an immediate response there is going to give Zombs the first kill, first blood on Sub Rosa, which is big considering how much Sub Rosa has contributed to this team. And then Dapper playing around that. That smoke was so nicely done too because it gave him enough of a crack there, but it doesn't even matter because Hayes goes inside, he gets 2 headshots, and he's going to get that spike down.
Hayes just doing Hayes things yet again, stepping up at the right time. This man is an absolute beast.
Oh no, oh no, the orbital strike forces them back. Okay, so now, more delay, but they'll be back in here. They can heal, they will be fine, but it's a 2v3. Now it's gonna be a 1v1. It's just up to Sick. He has been spectacular, but it's not gonna matter because Wardell gets the